Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from CarWow. Now most people when they're buying a car want as much horsepower for as little cash as possible. It's simple car economics. But which cars give you the most power for your pounds? Well, I've put together a list of the 10 cars which get you the most bang for your buck. And 3 of them may actually really surprise you. Now to do this, I've taken the best offer you can get on every new car through CarWow and then divided this by the car's horsepower to show how much each single horse costs on its own for each car. And so here's my list of the top 10 cars with the cheapest horsepower you can buy.
Buying a new car? Then head to CarWow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. CarWow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
You can't get a Ford Focus RS anymore, so the ST is the next best hot hatch Ford actually makes. It's a little bit down on power compared to the RS, but with 280 horsepower, it's still got a fairly decent stable underneath its bonnet for a practical family hatchback. And it's not that expensive either. The recommended retail price on the Focus ST is £34,000, but if you get one through CarWow, you could save an average of £3,000 off one. And when you do the maths, that means that each of the Focus ST's 280 horsepower costs you £108. So £108 per horsepower, which is pretty good value really. Good enough for 10th place on this list. Wait a sec. My list is all about horsepower, so why is there an MG in here? Well, the MG might only have a 1.5 litre petrol engine with 106 horsepower, but it's really cheap. So each of these horses doesn't cost you very much money. You can buy an MG3 for a little over £12,000, but get one through CarWow and you could save £1,000 on one. So the car will cost you around £11,000. This means each horsepower costs just £106. Now who'd have thought that an MG3 would give you more horsepower per pound than a Ford Focus ST? It's amazing. Okay, here's the next car, and I know what you're thinking. Come on, Matt, first an MG and now a Dacia? What the heck are you talking about? But this Dacia actually gives you really good horsepower per pound. This is partly because the Sandero is the cheapest new car you can buy in the UK, with a recommended retail price starting from £8,000. And that's even if you ignore the poverty spec access model. And you definitely want to avoid that because it doesn't even have a radio. Maybe they should call it the Amish model instead of the access. Anyway, the Sandero's 1.3 litre engine only makes 73 horsepower, but when you apply a £280 average CarWow discount on the car, each one of the Sandero's horses only costs you £106. To be specific, it's actually just 1 pence less each per horsepower than the MG3, so the Dacia creeps ahead into 8th place. When someone says Kia, you don't automatically think of fun performance cars, but you should because the Stinger GTS is a bit of a forgotten gem. It's got almost everything you want from a fast saloon. Sporty looks, cool interior, and a 365 horsepower twin-turbo V6. The only thing it doesn't have is a posh German badge on the bonnet. I guess that's probably why it costs less than £42,000. And that's before you factor in an average CarWow discount on the car of £3,000. When you account for that saving, it means you're only paying £104 per horsepower for that Kia. If you want to know more about the Kia Stinger GTS, click on the pop-out banner up there to go watch my video review on it. It's a nice car. Anyway, let's move on. The next car on my list is the Volvo S60. Specifically, it's the T8 performance hybrid version with a turbocharged and supercharged 2 litre petrol engine. And that's not all. It also has an electric motor powering the back wheels. Now talk about complicated. All in all, it makes 390 horsepower, but it's also quite expensive. It costs more than £45,000. Good thing you can save an average of £4,500 on one through CarWow. And when you factor that in and do the maths using the CarWow price, you end up paying just £104 for each of the S60 T8's horsepowers. It's actually a teeny bit less than the Kia Stinger GTS, so it sneaks into 6th place on my list. If you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can actually watch me race a Volvo S60 T8 against a bunch of fast Audis, BMWs and Mercedes. In 6th place is the SsangYong Tivoli. Yeah, this is another car that does well because it's really cheap. The Tivoli actually comes with a 128 horsepower engine and the car costs less than £14,000. So it's a bit of a bargain, but buy one through CarWow and you could save an average of 750 quid on one. And when you do the maths, that means that each of its horses only costs you a little over £103. Only trouble is, you'll have to keep explaining to people that Tivoli means I love it backwards. I love it. I don't love it, really. The Ford Fiesta ST is a great small hot hatchback. It's small, it's loads of fun to drive, and it's cheap to buy. Its turbocharged 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine pumps out 200 horsepower, and you can pick up an ST2 model for around £22,000. Buy one through CarWow though, and you could save an average of £1,700 on one. This means that each horsepower on the little Ford costs you a bit less than £103. This is why the Fiesta takes 5th place ahead of the SsangYong Tivoli. I bet Ford's relieved about that, really. Now, if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can actually watch my in-depth review of the Ford Fiesta ST and then configure the car yourself through CarWow to see how much you can save on one. The original Mini used to be all about cheap fun, but they've been getting bigger and more expensive over the years. A bit like smartphones, really. But you still get decent horsepower for your cash if you go for a 3-door Mini Cooper S Classic. This comes with a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine with 192 horsepower, and it costs just over £21,100. But you could save an average of £1,400 off one if you buy through CarWow. That means that when you did the calculation, you're paying less than £103 for each horse. It's actually just a few pennies less than the cost of a horsepower with the Fiesta ST, which is why the Mini comes 4th on this list. You have to be careful when speccing your Mini though, because it's all too easy to get wooed by plenty of cool retro options, and you could end up accidentally spending a fortune and ruining that rather impressive pounds per horsepower figure. American muscle cars are all about going as fast as possible for very little cash. So you just knew there had to be a Ford Mustang on this list. But I'm not talking about the cheaper 2.3 litre turbocharged EcoBoost model. Oh no, this is the proper V8 powered GT version. You know, the one you actually really want. It's got a 5 litre naturally aspirated V8 with 449 horsepower, and the recommended retail price starts from £44,000. Buy one through CarWow though, and you could save an average of £2,600 on one. This means each of the Mustang's ponies will only cost you £91. £91! It's brilliant! The Mustang GT is actually the most powerful car in this top 10, but its slightly hefty price tag means it just misses out on first place. Now, if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch me drag race a Mustang against the new Toyota Supra. Finally, we come to the #1 car on this list, the one with the cheapest horsepower. So is it some horrible little Super Mini that's dead cheap, or maybe some weird special edition hot hatch? No, it's actually the Nissan 370Z, a good old-fashioned sports car. And when I say old-fashioned, yeah, I really do mean old-fashioned. You see, the 370Z comes with a big old 3.7 litre V6 with 328 horsepower. It doesn't have any fancy hybrid technology or even a turbocharger. It's naturally aspirated. This means the 370Z is actually a great driver's car, and it's also really, really cheap. The recommended retail price starts from just £30,000. But head over to CarWow and you could save an average of £1,300 off one. And that means each horsepower in the 370Z could cost you as little as £87. £87 for a horse. It's a bargain. Now, Nissan's actually revealed a concept for an all-new Z sports car that will replace the 370Z. It's called the Z Proto. It looks wicked, but it won't be coming to the UK. So you better snap up a 370Z while you still can, because they are an absolute bargain. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. Also, let me know of any other videos you'd like to see in the comments below. I'll read through your suggestions and try and make some of them happen. Now, if you click on that box there, you can sign up to the CarWow newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date with all the latest news and reviews in between our video uploads on YouTube. Click there or there, you can watch some other videos. And if you're thinking about buying a new car, just Google "Help Me CarWow." And me and my team will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price from one of our trusted dealers. Thanks for watching.